Despite advancing technology, there's one very basic tool that's been used every day since prehistoric times. Ken Wilshire met a Clarksville couple who make their living creating these ancient tools. They're the proud owners of Boothill Blades.
One of the first and most important tools humans ever chipped out of stone was a crude, sharp edge. From stone to steel, knives have been a part of our lives since prehistoric times.
And this beautiful knife is a Boothill blade. It's meticulously handcrafted here in Clarksville, Tennessee. And it's a blade itself. It's made from these old saw blades that used to slice through, or I should say, knife through huge logs.
And it was the need for a good sharp hunting knife years ago that has carved out a new career for Jared Thatcher.
I talked to my dad and I was kind of nervous, and so my dad said to me, at some point you just have to step off the ledge, if that's what you want to do. And so that's what I did last year, and so far it's been pretty rewarding.
Rewarding? Well, instead of a promising white-collar career in finance, he's cutting through heat, sparks, and dust to satisfy his no-collar t-shirt passion for knife making.
So I said, you know what, I think I can make one. So I started watching YouTube videos, sort of looked into things, and I ended up creating a forge out of our old Weber grill and hammering out and grinding. It's a terrible knife, I still have it, but my first knife. And then I just was like, I think I can do better, I think I can do better. So, probably 20 grand worth of shop equipment later, I could make a $300 hunting knife. Yeah, I should have just bought the knife in the first place, probably.
Well, it may have been less than cutting-edge technology that lit the fire to make knives, but it's been his inspirational wife and partner, Kylie, who's helping move this family venture forward. Kylie shapes the wood products.
That's how I finish all the products.
But she also abandoned a good job as an office manager to keep the Boothill books in the black.
I run the business. I do all of the shipping, I do all of the packaging, I run the business aspect. We both do the emails and the contacts and things like that. But primarily, I wanted him to be in charge of the knives, and because that's the big part. So he does that, and I try to run everything else as smooth as possible.
And the word's out about Kylie's beautiful handcrafted wooden kitchen utensils and Jared's culinary cutlery. Chefs from Australia to Sweden now have Boothill Blades in their restaurants and homes.
You're not just buying a knife, you're buying like a story. And so a lot of home cooks and a lot of chefs, mostly chefs, buy our knives, but a lot of home cooks buy them too, because when you're having that dinner party and you set out a board of something or a steak and you have this knife on there, it's going to strike up a conversation.
Well, the conversation always seems to include the process that makes Boothill Blades so unique.
I cut out a rectangle from this, and I will then forge it to shape. I grind it on the grinder, grind it to the final shape, thermal cycle it in the oven to refine grain size and kind of de-stress the steel. I will heat treat it, which involves heating it up to a critical temperature and then dunking it into canola oil or a Parks 50 oil, something that's going to cool the steel very fast. I temper it in an oven, do all of the final grinds, put the handle on, and shape that handle. And once the handle's done, that's pretty much it. I'll put our logo on and sharpen it, and it's out the door.
But even more, recycling the old saw blades and files was Jared and Kylie's plan from the beginning.
We sort of built this business on that idea that we're using reclaimed materials. So I try to even use reclaimed materials in the handle. And so we want to stay true to what we created in the business.
By the way, a warning to all the wannabe knife makers, it's hazardous work, and not just for anyone.
I burn myself all the time, number one. I grind my fingernails off on the grinder a lot. But the worst thing is actually forging. Like, that just does a lot of damage and wear and tear on your shoulder and your elbow and all that. So I try to stay in the gym a lot and to get that strength, but it's also about technique. And so it took me a long time to figure out good forging technique.
The Boothill and the company's name is simply from an historic area of Clarksville, where Jared and Kylie now call home. They're truly living their dreams.
Best part is that finishing off that handle and putting some oil on that handle, because up until then it's work, you know? It's not easy.
I love finishing the products knowing that somebody is going to spend this money on it and use it in their kitchen, which is something that's really important to me. The kitchen is a big place in my heart, so to know that other people are using my stuff that I made in their kitchens is pretty awesome.
Kylie and Jared also feel it's pretty awesome that they're working together at home with their kids.
I really wanted to be here, and so now, you know, I don't miss anything. I take them to school every morning. I can pick them up in the afternoons. Like, I don't miss anything, and that's way more important. Plus, working next to my wife and seeing her business grow, or her side of the business grow, and being able to do it all together is something I wouldn't trade for anything.
We kind of moved here with the hopes that we could stay home more with the kids. So having two little ones and us being both here, even though that poses its own issues quite a bit because they're still toddlers, it's pretty awesome. And just to grow a business by ourselves, which isn't something I feel like everyone can say, is pretty incredible.
So from a successful financial advisor until today, Jared has honed his knife-making skills well. And along with Kylie's beautiful woodwork and business management experience, Boothill Blades has sliced its way into a new market that's paying priceless dividends for the Thatchers.